Should Trent Alexander-Arnold join Real Madrid? In this video, we're going to break down the pros and the cons of both leaving Liverpool, his boyhood club, and obviously joining the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid, and facing a brand new challenge on the continent. Let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll get straight into it. The rumours for me, there are rumours with every club, every summer, every big club's linked to every big name. It always happens. But when Real Madrid are linked, there's this weird sense that it's inevitable, that it's going to happen. When Gareth Bale left, even the money quoted by Spurs was ridiculous, and it always happened. When Ronaldo left Man United, there was an inevitability about it. There was this kind of sense that it was just going to happen. And the fact that Real Madrid are linked, the fact that I know Real Madrid fans that feel confident he'd flourish, he'd want to join Real Madrid, that kind of narrative is being spun at the moment. Now, obviously, Real Madrid don't just sign everyone all the time that they're linked with, because obviously, papers and football media always have rumours out there. But Trent to Real Madrid feels so right for so many reasons. He's a Galactico type player. He's of an age category very, very similar to the young players that Real Madrid have been signing recently. Think of Tchouaméni coming in, Camavinga coming in, Vinicius many years ago, of course, Rodrigo coming in, Mbappe. This Real Madrid side, they're not pure Galacticos of the David Beckham era, the Michael Owen era. This is a kind of signing the best of the future crop of Galactico players and giving Real Madrid this kind of time span of 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Think of someone like Valverde, how long he's been at the club, for example, while they keep the likes of Carvajal, while they keep the likes of Modric and Kroos kicking about the squad. So this Real Madrid, set up with Perez in the modern era with the brand new stadium, they're looking for the next generation of Real Madrid. And you think about it as a footballer, Trent Alexander-Arnold is so cinematic, he's so Hollywood. What he can do with the ball is pure art, it really is. We can obviously have a discussion about Premier League football, about his defensive capabilities. We can have a discussion about if he'll start for England because of the quality of right-backs for England. A lot of these arguments are very benign, and Liverpool fans find them to be so, because Liverpool fans week in, week out see a player that can do things with the ball very similar to De Bruyne, very similar to Steven Gerrard of yesteryear, of course. So it's a very, very interesting move in that regard. Trent fits the age profile. Trent fits the stylistic qualities that a right back in the modern era at Real Madrid should possess. He's almost got the Roberto Carlos about him, obviously on the other flank. And for that reason, when the image works with Real Madrid, they're a very image-based football club, in my opinion. They've got the luxury to do so with the money and the investment and the success at the club. They obviously deserve it. They're the biggest club in the world, in my opinion. Far bigger than Man United now because of recent success, because they've won the league recently, because they've won how many Champions Leagues in the last 10 years? Absolutely surreal. They're the biggest club in the world, bar none, in my opinion. So firstly, when they come calling, the weight of their interest does look bigger than it does with other clubs. There's no question about it. But it makes so much sense for that nucleus, for that young group of players that are all blending in together. And I do think it makes sense because I don't think Trent is fully understood. I think this matters a lot to footballers. Obviously, it's a different narrative. We'll talk about Liverpool in a minute. But I think footballers like to be understood. I think footballers like to have 100% of what they do on the pitch to be seen, to be understood by football fans. Liverpool fans understand. But it might be the case that Trent going to Real Madrid, he could see it maybe being a little bit easier defensively, a little bit easier on the physicality. And I think he'd be able to have that kind of control. He'd be able to pop into midfield, in my opinion. He'd be able to link up with some incredible players. You can see that kind of diagonal ball that maybe Beckham used to do into R9 in the classic years. You could see that 1,000,000% happening with Trent over to Mbappe. He'd be excited by that project, in my opinion. On a logistical level, it's very, very interesting as well. He's got 1 year left on his deal. If Real Madrid just wanted to sign him flat out, he had a couple more years left on his deal. With his age profile, he's 25 years old. He'd be worth over £100 million easily. He'd be approaching £150 million in today's market. If Declan Rice, if Caicedo goes for 105, Trent is worth over £100 million easily. The fact that there's 1 year left on his deal means that Real Madrid, who like to do this, they've done this a lot. Even Alphonso Davies, who comes in, might also be a cut price deal. Mbappe obviously cost a lot of money, but that was a deal that was expiring, that was coming to the end of its kind of tenure at PSG. Real Madrid box clever with these transfers. They're not going to end up spending 150 million quid on Trent, which he's clearly worth, because they're going to wait for the contract to run down. This deal might happen a year later, but I think this summer would be an amazing opportunity. I think let's talk about Liverpool now. Obviously, if you watch this far, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Liverpool obviously would keep him 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. But that new manager that comes in, it's going to be tricky. I think Trent is a very unique player to Jurgen Klopp. When he gets the ball and he whips it out first time, down the channel, across the pitch, almost like a quarterback in NFL football. I think it's a very Jurgen Klopp system. I think it's a very Jurgen Klopp thing, the intensity, the first time nature of the passing. I think that's very unique to what he's built at Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. The next manager, we don't know if Alonso would fancy that. We don't know if Alonso, from what I've seen with Bayer Leverkusen, they obviously like to have a very short passing range. They like to keep things simple, a lot of possession. I'm not saying Trent can't do that. Trent could do anything he wants at right back, in my opinion. Even just become more of a naturalised defensive right back. I think he's got defensive capabilities to learn and to grow into. Again, he's only 25 years old. So the Liverpool situation is interesting. The new manager that comes in, if they can get 80 million quid this summer, there is a world that the new manager wouldn't mind Trent leaving for that kind of money to freshen up the side. Someone like Conor Bradley is actually a really interesting situation as well, because he's come in, deputised for the injured Trent, and he looks fantastic. He looks as good as Trent was at his age, really, he does. So Liverpool have got that replacement ready to go. Liverpool might not want someone of his style, because Trent is a very unique player. That's why we're debating if he even starts for England at the Euros. Talent-wise, he has to, in my opinion. But I don't see how he fits into the Southgate system. There might be a manager who's limited in the same way as Gareth Southgate joining Liverpool. We just don't know. We assume it's going to be Xabi Alonso. With the way Bayern Munich are moving, suddenly you're thinking, what if De Zerbi comes in and struggles a little bit? What if the next manager comes in and struggles? Trent's not a luxury player, but Trent is one of those players that when the tide rises, he kind of goes with it a little bit. And when you're struggling, particularly last season when he was getting found out defensively, he likes to be on the end of a great side, and he makes the side better in that regard. But I don't think he's the first name. When things are going wrong, he's definitely not the first name that you'd want to play alongside, in my opinion. That's not to discredit him. He's just a luxury, stylistic footballer. And if Liverpool struggle in the aftermath of Jurgen Klopp leaving, then suddenly those Real Madrid opportunities don't come along often. There's opportunities for Liverpool to make pure profit on the books, which unfortunately is a thing we have to talk about more and more in football. They don't come around often, these opportunities. So Real Madrid could come in, 70 million, 80 million pound bid. Now obviously Trent's come out, and I think he's come out and sort of made a comment that Real Madrid can buy him on FIFA, and he might not be interested. Obviously, Trent might just want to stay at Liverpool for the rest of his life. He's a Liverpudlian. He's a red, through and through. You can obviously see that, and he's achieved everything at Liverpool. But you look at the overview, the move to Real Madrid ahead of a World Cup in 2026 as well, where maybe there's a new manager where he can maybe really put himself in the shop window. Which I shouldn't have to say that, he should be starting for England in my opinion in the Euros. But it might not happen, and he might be frustrated by that, and that might instigate a move to Spain. He's one of those players, I think it would work 1,000,000% if he went to Spain. I think he'd improve Real Madrid. I think he'd be a name that would bring interest and intrigue to La Liga. And if you look at the side this Real Madrid owner is building, Perez, it's absolutely unbelievable. Alphonso Davies on one side, got Tchouameni, Camavinga, got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham. It's absolutely out of this world. If you've watched this far, make sure you subscribe. Really appreciate it. Let me know, should Trent leave Liverpool or stay?